In a quiet town in Minnesota, a story unfolded that few believe possible, a tale of resilience, love, and a miracle birth that captivated the world. Abby and Brittany Hensel, the conjoined twins who first drew global attention for their extraordinary condition and unshakable bond, had always shared one dream: to become mothers. Born on March 7th, 1990, Abby and Brittany have lived a life filled with complexities and triumphs. They share one body, but possess two separate heads, each controlling one side. Despite this, they have defied medical expectations, graduated college, and built careers as fifth-grade teachers. For decades, they lived not just as survivors, but as thriving, determined women, with hopes no different from anyone else's, including the dream of parenthood. Their desire for motherhood wasn't new. In a documentary filmed during their teens, Abby had confidently said, "Yeah, we're going to be moms one day, but we don't want to talk about how it's going to work yet." At the time, it sounded like a bold declaration, but not an impossibility. Then, in 2021, the unexpected happened. Abby quietly married Josh Bowling, a medical nurse and U.S. Army veteran. Josh came into the marriage with a daughter from a previous relationship, 8-year-old Isabella. While their union raised eyebrows and sparked controversy online, Josh embraced Abby and Brittany's unique lives wholeheartedly. He wasn't just marrying Abby, he was stepping into a family and a future most wouldn't dare imagine. Despite the public scrutiny, the couple's wedding was filled with joy, laughter, and genuine love. Abby became a stepmother to Isabella, and Brittany played an equal role in the home. Still, the journey to motherhood was never going to be simple, physically, legally, or socially. 2 years after their wedding, complications arose. Josh found himself embroiled in a paternity lawsuit filed by his ex-wife, Annika Bowling. The suit alleged that he was the father of her second child, born in 2020. It was a messy, painful legal battle that drew unwelcome attention to the already private lives of the twins. Yet through it all, Josh remained loyal. He stood by his wife and her sister, sheltering them as much as he could from the storm. Then came the moment no one saw coming. Abby was pregnant. The news was met with stunned silence, then an outpouring of emotions: excitement, fear, disbelief. Could their shared body carry a child to term? Could both Abby and Brittany be considered legal mothers? Medical questions clashed with ethical ones, but the twins were unwavering. They would walk this path no matter how difficult. Under the care of Dr. Kimberly Gashi, an OB/GYN at UH Case Medical Center, the pregnancy was monitored closely. "The pelvis may not be ready or big enough to deliver a baby," Dr. Gashi explained. A C-section was planned early on. Every stage was filled with questions and uncertainty. But one thing was constant: hope. Their community stepped up in a big way. Friends, neighbors, and co-workers delivered meals, offered childcare support, and sent messages of encouragement. Online, the reaction was mixed. Some trolls couldn't resist mocking what they didn't understand. But Abby and Brittany responded with grace. "The internet is extra loud today," they posted with a smirk, an understatement laced with their signature humor. As the due date approached, emotions ran high. Josh held Abby's hand in the operating room, while Brittany whispered calming words. Then, in a room thick with tension and anticipation, the cries of a newborn broke through. They had done it. A healthy baby girl entered the world, and they named her Grace. Tears flowed, applause erupted. Medical staff, many of whom had never seen a case like this in their careers, stood in awe. Grace was more than a baby. She was proof that love, when paired with persistence, can bend even the most rigid rules of biology. Raising Grace wasn't without its challenges. Coordinating sleep schedules, managing daily routines, and navigating parenting as conjoined twins created a new set of dynamics. But Abby, Brittany, and Josh functioned as a unified team. Grace was never lacking in love. The legal landscape remained complicated. Some experts argued both Abby and Brittany should be listed as Grace's legal mothers. Others said it would depend on Minnesota state law. But the family didn't get bogged down in the paperwork. They focused on what mattered: nurturing their daughter and maintaining their bond. They continued teaching during the week, now balancing lesson plans with late-night feedings. Social media became both a platform for advocacy and a battleground against ignorance. Yet the twins handled it with their usual blend of patience and wit. As Grace grew, she thrived. Her first steps, her first words, her first day of preschool, each milestone was met with cheers and celebration. Photographs of the family showed not just a loving household, but a narrative that refused to fit into society's neat little boxes. Eventually, Josh's legal troubles with Annika were resolved. The paternity lawsuit was dismissed. The family could finally breathe, free to focus on the future. Together, they faced life's complexities with courage and optimism. Abby and Brittany's journey to motherhood became more than a headline. It became a living, breathing example of what it means to persevere in the face of doubt. It was about reclaiming agency over their lives, redefining womanhood, and proving, yet again, that they could do anything they set their minds to. In a world that often fails to accommodate difference, the Hensel family stood tall. Their story wasn't just about birth, it was about rebirth, about creating new definitions of love, family, and strength. And as Grace continues to grow, one thing is certain. She was born into a world that underestimated her mothers, and that world was wrong. Their story doesn't end here. It's only just beginning. And somewhere down the road, when Grace learns about the incredible women who brought her into the world, she'll know she was born not just from biology, but from the purest form of bravery.